Good day, everyone. Dan, Sharpe Trade. I'm going to tell you, I'm going to try to get through this video entry pretty quick, and I'm going to tell you why. When you see me here, this is my home office. So I'm at home at the moment, right? My wife is a bit of a chef. And at the moment, she's fixing something. And the smell, I can smell it here in my office, is like, it's just tantalizing. It's driving me nuts. So I can't wait, basically, to eat whatever it is she's whipped up. If you, as I said, if you hear any noises in the background, that might be her with the pots and the pans and doing whatever she's got to do. It smells incredibly delicious at the moment. So I'm going to try to get through this quickly so I can go eat. But yes, good day. And I may seem distracted because it's like, oh my God, that smells so good. But anyways, hello. Dan, Sharpe Trade. This is Monday. It is May the 1st, 2017, and therefore this is a Sharpe Income Project entry. So, it's a project we run to demonstrate for traders something they can watch progress over time, in real time, with how moves would actually work out once they are made, and how they would translate onto a portfolio. We began it not as a tiny account, but we went to a tiny account, and then a really small account, and then we went way underneath that. So we started with $500. There's $25 capital deposits each week, which you cannot count towards the gains, and just showing folks how you would grow an income account. And actually, we're using a few processes of our own to do this, so the risk-adjusted metrics, performance metrics, should be really good for what this project is, and you're seeing that borne out. This week, the capital contributions and the deposits and everything, it's in the text entry that accompanies this video, same as it has been. Okay, so 85% of the capital is going towards cash reserved for capital gains, sort of that strategy. We keep some cash on hand just for that strategy, and we keep some cash on hand that's sort of reserved for income assets. So 15% of that deposit is going towards that. Okay, see, you may have been able to hear the ding. I'm telling you, it smells, God, it smells so good. So, yeah, and we just, that's all there is. There's no real moves to make. She even made me like this pink lemonade. I'm telling you, this woman is fantastic. But anyways, yeah, that's all there is. There's no real moves to make this week. I was talking with some traders over the weekend, and the subject came up of why a lot of traders fail. You know, self-directed retail traders fail. Why they typically wash out, they get discouraged and they don't stick with it. What we were talking about, and these are topics we've talked about a few times, what we were talking about over the weekend was unrealistic expectations, right? I showed Bill Dunn. You know, if you're anybody in the future space or commodity future space, you know who Bill Dunn is. Look at his track record. You can look up his track record. It is phenomenal. The guy had 4 or 5 years where he not only didn't make any money, but he was losing money. There was some drawdown. Here's the funny thing about that. Bill Dunn, one of the things he like preached back in the day was about understanding drawdown and how drawdown fits into a process. So the guy had something like 3 or 4 years of drawdown, right? And new retail traders here, and I was like, wow, he must not be any good. He didn't make money for 3 years. Look at his track record. The guy's track record is phenomenal. It is not beating the S&P 500 index. It is destroying the S&P 500 index. I mean, it's ridiculous how much he is embarrassing. If it's like, well, can it beat the S&P 500 index? He is absolutely, positively destroying it. But there were 4 years where it didn't make any money, right? So I was using that case example as an example of, listen, you have to understand what realistic performance is. Otherwise, it's like, imagine somebody going to play baseball, Major League Baseball, right? And they're going up against Major League pitchers, and they bat 500 over the course of a season. And at the end of it, they say, well, you know what? I suck. I'm just going to hang this up because I missed half of the pitch. My batting average just sucks. I'm only batting 500. Obviously that sounds stupid. Why does it sound stupid? Because if you know anything about baseball, you know that's a great batting average, right? The guy's batting 500. That's wonderful. So what we're saying is you have to understand what's considered even great performance in the industry. Because a lot of times you'll talk to new retail traders and it's like, well, I went up to bat and I didn't hit a grand slam every single time I went up to base, so this trading thing's not working. It's like you have to understand realistic performance. And let's face it, we were talking about Bill Dunn. So this is a rock star, this is a legend in his space. So, I mean, you're not going to be doing that, okay? If you're trying to do this for yourself, you got to realize the first few years it's going to be a struggle. Anyways, that was that whole topic. See, I've gotten into that whole topic. One thing we didn't mention over the weekend in that conversation that I'll mention here, there's many reasons why new retail traders don't make it. They get frustrated as well because they get bored, right? They don't have some sort of process that they're using. They don't have a process, or they get a process and they're not faithful to it. So they get a process and it's like they run it for a little bit and it hands them that little bit of drawdown that Dunn was famous for preaching. Understand, drawdown as it relates to your performance. They get a little bit of drawdown and go, oh my God, this isn't working. And they do what we have termed method hunting, and they go helling up something else because they cannot accept pain. So you want to know why new retail traders, or they get bored. And that's really what I wanted to say in this Sharpe Income Project entry. What are we doing week after week? We're applying the process, right? We're not going to describe the process. If you would like to find out about a multitude of trading processes and how they fit in with a risk profile and how they, you're risk advantaged over optimal math over an iteration, we have free courses, the free money management playlist. That's a free course you can go through. We have premium products and give you a host of strategies. Use whatever one you want and you feel comfortable with that fits in with your psychology. But listen, here's the thing. People think if I just knew the strategy, then I'd make money. I beg to differ. I beg to differ. Because I can't tell you the number of times I've seen new retail traders be handed a perfectly beautiful strategy and they screw it up. They think they can tweak it. They think they can improve it. They don't even understand the mathematics of why this particular process has an edge, the independent variables that lead to it giving it an edge over time. They don't understand it. They try to apply some stupid RSI to the thing when that's not even how it works, and they screw it up. So it's not the fact that you don't have a strategy or a process as to why many retail traders fail. Sometimes they get a process and they just can't stick with it. They can't endure pain. It's not about the strategy. It's not about the process. It's about learning to endure discomfort. I mean, right now, the Sharpe Income Project is doing great. It's the way I like to run books. It's just the way where I like to see my drawdown numbers at. So you're seeing that reflected in the Sharpe Income Project. I think the project as a whole is hitting new highs. I think we've gotten 381 basis points in terms of income yield into the project that we're just rolling it back into it because we're growing it. So 3.81%. Where are you getting 3.81% as far as yield or income? Where can you get that? So we've done pretty good. And it's still now graduated from a minuscule account up to a tiny account. We're approaching something like $4,000, right? Starting off with $500, $25 a week. Most people spend that in pizza every week. Regardless, I think the project as a whole is hitting all-time highs. We're graduating. We're doing something with the capital deposits where we're sort of graduating into the next phase. The income assets are rocking it at the moment. If there's been one laggard, but we are following a process, it's been that capital gains sort of trading strategy. Some folks asked us, why did you, and several, if you were one of the people that asked us this, don't feel bad. But several people asked us, why did you buy, like, SHY? Why would you go into the treasuries? Why would you buy the ETFs based off the treasuries? That doesn't make any sense. Look at the performance since that time. It's based off of a process. That's what I'm trying to stress here. Process, process, process. It doesn't make any sense. I was telling somebody else in another process that we run, we're long the Qs this month, right? Long the Qs this month. And it's like, but that might have a pullback. I don't know. It might. Maybe it will. Maybe it won't. I have no way of knowing that. I do know that this process runs ridiculously good performance metrics over time, so I stick to it. So for this month, in the month of May, I'm long the Qs as well. Will the Qs have a pullback? They might. They might this, but I am faithful to the process. The process works. So I don't have to worry about what's going to happen in the future. I know that process is maximum drawdown numbers, and if it gets near there, then I'm sort of raising an eyebrow. But until then, I just run it. And most traders fail because they may even get a good process, and they screw it up. The reason why most self-directed new retail traders fail, it's staring them in the mirror. Okay? If you want processes, we have a short-term trading course. It's got myriads of processes. We talk about if you want the stats on any of them, we give you the stats on them. We give the stats on quite a few of them. There's variations here. In this particular category, there's this strategy, this strategy, this strategy. Which one do you want to use? Right? But as great as some of those strategies are, there's one we've got, we just call it Program DI. That one's, I think, let me think, where's it at? I think since 2003, the S&P 500 index has returned something like 106%. This one's up 243% or 251% with a maximum drawdown of 18%. Right? You can give the stats. But here's the thing. If you can't handle a maximum drawdown of 18%, what's going to happen is you're going to get 1 month of drawdown and go, oh my God, I got to go find something that works. And do, as we say, method hunting and sabotage. So, for the Sharpe Income Project, we've said this a few weeks now, but it's like, oh, this is boring. Just adding that capital. Just adding that capital. Well, look at the performance. The performance is really good. We've gotten good yield, which is the point. We're beating our benchmark in terms of both yield and performance. So we're beating, the 7 to 10 year. We're beating that. Great yield, 3.81%. We just play the process. We don't look for excitement. Oh, this is boring. Tough luck. Don't you want boring? I mean, seriously, wouldn't you want that? Wouldn't you want to I was like, well, I'm running the process. I'm being disciplined and making sure I stick to it. And then I'm going to go outside and do whatever the heck I want to do. Isn't that the point of trading? Come on. But you got to be able to endure discomfort. We say that in our free course on trading psychology and emotional discipline. Or boredom. You got to be able to withstand boredom and go, well, I wonder what will happen if I do this. You're trying to fight boredom. That doesn't make any sense. Oh, awesome. Thank you. Oh, yes. And it's still smelling fantastic. So I'm going to get out of here because that's done. And for now, that's just been the Sharpe Income Project. You may say it's boring, but look at the results. It's all been live and in real time, right? So for now, that has been what it's always been. It's simply been our thoughts, not yours, for whatever the heck day it is. As always, stay safe, trade well, and remember that love doesn't cost a dime.